Winston-Salem in Forsyth County, North Carolina, is a historic city known for its Moravian roots, tobacco heritage, and vibrant art scene. It hosts institutions like Wake Forest University and attractions such as Old Salem and Reynolda House, blending tradition with modern innovation. Winston-Salem was the hometown of 14-year-old Sherri Lee Truesdale. She was born on May 15, 1956, to parents Ernest and Henrietta Truesdale, and lived with them and her 4 siblings on Pitt Street. Sherri was described by her loved ones as a quiet girl who spent a lot of time studying for school. Her commitment to her education was commendable and didn't go unnoticed. Shortly prior to her disappearance in 1970, Sherri had obtained a scholarship to attend a summer fine arts program at Mount Tabor High School. On June 13, 1970, Sherri left her residence at around 11:30 a.m. and took the bus downtown to the local shopping centre, telling her mother of her intentions to gather some school supplies for the summer scholarship programme, which started the following Monday. Whilst at the mall, the 14-year-old was planning to buy some donuts and run an errand for her mother, specifically to make payments on her charge account at Rake's department store. Sherri was seen by a clerk at the department store at approximately 4:30 p.m. However, she was never seen or heard from again. When Sherri failed to return home later that same night, the area struck by torrential rain and flooding, her family became sick with worry and spent the night searching for her across the neighbourhood and at the nearby Happy Hill Park. After failing to find any trace of her, the Truesdales contacted the police to report their daughter as missing. This was either at approximately 8:30 p.m. that same night or early the following morning. Reports conflict on this exact detail. Various searches were conducted by Winston-Salem Police over a 6-week period, canvassing downtown and further afield for any sign of Sherri. However, no trace of her was found. Her parents were concerned that their daughter may have drowned in one of the creeks at the nearby Happy Hill Park in the midst of the heavy rainstorm, but no evidence was found to indicate that this was the case. Sadly, the case quickly went cold. Authorities had little to no clues to work with and couldn't definitively say with any sort of certainty what had happened to the 14-year-old. Some believed that she perhaps drowned in a freak accident during the heavy rainfall, whereas others believe she was abducted, either from the mall or on her route home. It's unclear whether she managed to board a bus back to her residence or not, as no witnesses came forward with any significant information. Unfortunately, due to the lack of any leads or clues to follow, Sherri's case was closed just a year after she vanished in 1971, leaving her family frustrated and heartbroken. In 1997, the case was reopened by Winston-Salem Police, with Sherri's case being the oldest unsolved disappearance within their jurisdiction. This action was prompted by a letter sent to the police department in the summer of 1996, asking where the investigation was at. Captain Cliff Cranford of the Winston-Salem PD told the media, quote, "Our biggest fear is that she's dead and buried somewhere, and no one knows about it." Sadly, both of Sherri's parents have since passed away. Her mother Henrietta in 1978 and her father Ernest in 1981. Her 3 sisters and her brother continue to search for answers and closure, and hope that someday their prayers will be answered. Sherri's sister, Ernestine Chambers, told the Winston-Salem Journal of the profound effect that her sister's disappearance had on her family. Quote, "Mama cried a lot. We had a front porch where she could see the bus stop. Every time a bus would come around that curb and she wouldn't see her, Sherri, she'd start crying." She concluded by saying, quote, "As long as there's no body, there's always hope." Her other sister, Laverne Crawford, said, quote, "It seems like if she were dead, there would have been evidence by now. If she's dead, we want to know. We can bury her and her memories." Ernestine concluded in the News and Observer, quote, "It still hurts. We loved her so much. I don't want to die not knowing what happened." The circumstances surrounding Sherri's disappearance remain shrouded in mystery, and what fate befell her sadly remains unknown. Was she victim of an accident, or was it something more sinister, perhaps abduction? Nothing has been ruled out in this particular case. Without any substantial evidence, clues, or witness testimonies, it seems that this case is once again frustratingly at a standstill. Despite this, however, her remaining loved ones have not given up hope that someday they will find out the truth. At the time of her disappearance in 1970, Sherri Lee Truesdale was 14 years old. She is described as being an African-American female with a light brown complexion and of a medium build, with black hair, with bangs and in pigtails, and brown eyes, standing at 4 feet 2 inches tall and weighing approximately 75 pounds. She has moles above her upper right lip and on the centre back of the base of her neck. Both of her ears are pierced. When she was last seen, Sherri was wearing a blue shirt, a pair of blue bell-bottom trousers, a lady's watch with a black leather or plastic band, a pair of pentagon-shaped aqua-coloured earrings, and a pair of brown loafer shoes. Due to the circumstances involved in this case, Sherri is classed as an endangered missing person. Her DNA is available for comparison, which as of yet has not matched any Jane Doe's in the NamUs system. Though prior depictions were printed in newspaper articles over the years, the National Centre for Missing and Exploited Children created a more recent digital age progression image of Sherri in 2003, depicting what she may look like at the age of 46. If alive today, Sherri would be 68 years old. Those with any information regarding the disappearance of Sherri Lee Truesdale are urged to contact Winston-Salem Police Department at 336-773-7848.